The trail.
I need your report, mercenary. Word reached me that Councillor Jirik was murdered. What about Sophus and Valeria? And did you find definitive proof that the Dark Brotherhood is our culprit? That's the Black Hand, symbol of the Dark Brotherhood. I wish Jirik and Sophus had allowed me to assign Brigadines to protect them. At least Valeria, however reluctantly, agreed to a military escort. Did you and Everly uncover any other information? It appears that Councillor Leviticus's trust in the Wood Elf was not misplaced. Very well. You and Everly can head in and talk to the Councillor.
Captain Rian and the Ivory Brigade will deal with the Dark Brotherhood. We're perfectly safe in here.
Your damn empire, Leviticus. It no longer exists, but it still causes us trouble.
You must be the mercenary that Captain Rian told me about. And I see you're working with Everly Sharparrow. Good. Good. I assume you have something to report. I'm listening. Damn it all to oblivion and back. I should have taken Pharaoh Lupus more seriously when I received his letter. This is definitely the mark of the Dark Brotherhood. Anything else to add to this? Yes, that's the Longhouse Emperor's code. Only a handful of Imperial scribes can decipher it. I know one. Baragon. I'll send for him at once. Meanwhile, we must warn the remaining counselors on the list. Eivor, Valeria, Itinia, and Vandacia. Very good. I've sent messages to Itinia and Vandacia already, as neither of them are currently within Leowin's jurisdiction. I need you to go to Fort Blueblood. Councillor Eivor has taken refuge there, but I'd prefer to have her here in Leowin. Everything we do now must be swift if we are to get ahead of this. Go to Fort Blueblood and convince Councillor Eivor to return to the city. She'll be safer here than at the fort. Sadly, no. Whatever Leovic confided in Pharaoh Lupus and the others, whatever he ordered them to do, he kept it a complete secret from me. I suppose he assumed I wouldn't go along with anything illegal or Daedric, and he was right. I was, but the Elder Council was made up of almost 24 counselors. According to the list Everly Sharparrow brought me, only 7 counselors were privy to this secret. Make that 6. I have no idea why Leovic listed me among that group. Who knows what was going through Leovic's head when he wrote that entry in his journal? Varen and his rebels were literally pounding at the doors of the palace at the time. And Leovic wasn't totally in his right mind even before the rebellion. Eivor has always had an affinity for the Imperial military. When she received her letter of warning from Pharaoh Lupus, she sent word to me, told me she was going to the fort, that the soldiers would protect her. I fear she is badly mistaken. Only a token force of Brigadines guards Fort Blueblood. If the Dark Brotherhood is truly our enemy, I fear a lone assassin can bypass the fort's defenses with relative ease. Eivor would be better off here in the castle. Go and bring her back at once. The Longhouse Emperors were Reachmen, who seized control of the Empire and ruled for some 40 years. Dukarach the Black Drake founded the ruling house. Morikar ascended to the throne after his father's death, and his son Leovic followed him. Leovic made a mistake. When he decided to declare Daedra worship as the law of the land, Duke Varen Aquilarios objected. He led a rebellion and personally dispatched Leovic in the Imperial throne room. Thus ended the Longhouse Emperor's reign. Unfortunately, no. Varen disappeared a few years later and the Empire collapsed. Now the so-called alliances are fighting over the scraps and Tamriel is in shambles. We're doing all we can just to keep Blackwood safe and secure.
Fort Blueblood? That's to the east across the river. I'll meet you there.
There's something wonderful about wandering a city's streets with no destination. Right behind you, partner. Let's ride. The Divines were in a good mood when they made this place.
Look, Councillor Leviticus and Captain Rianne sent me. I need to see Councillor Eivor now.
And what about my sister? She hasn't been seen since she took the Counselor her meal.
Councillor Eivor was very clear about this. She doesn't want to be disturbed. Oh, another mercenary. Is our Ivory Brigade so enfeebled that Captain Rianne must resort to hiring sellswords? Look, as I told the Wood Elf, Councillor Eivor was quite insistent. She doesn't want to be disturbed. All right, enough. I can see when I'm being overruled. Very well. I give you permission to enter the watchtower. Counselor Ebor's safety is now in your hands. Lurius? Oh, something about his sister. She's another servant here at the fort. Works in the kitchen, I believe. Apparently, she brought the Counselor her meal. He says she never returned, but the servants look for any opportunity to sneak off. The Counselor demanded we protect her. Said her life was in danger, but refused to give me any details. Imperial confidentiality, she insisted, above my station. I put her up in the watchtower, and assigned a couple of brigadines to guard her.
Oh no! Counselor Ebor's been murdered! But where's the servant? The Dark Brotherhood's calling card. Of course they tore out the pages and took them, just when we were so close to finding out more about the ambitions. Ebor's meal is still warm. So what happened to the servant that delivered it? We have a door locked from the outside, a dead counselor, and a missing servant. Did the assassin take off with both the torn-out journal pages and the servant? Anyway, they not only murdered Eibor, they probably know how to find the ambitions now. See that rope hanging from the top of the tower? Bet my bottom acorn that's how the assassin got in and out. But the missing servant... something about that is knocking on the back of my head. And why would the Dark Brotherhood take those pages? Maybe, but everything I've read about the Dark Brotherhood never suggested they would be interested in weapons of war, if that's even what the ambitions are. Damn it, we're loosing arrows in the dark here. Let's tell Commander Orton about Eibor.
So, will Counselor Eibor be returning with you to Leyawiin? Am I finally going to be able to get my fort back in order? Murdered? Gods, keep your voice down. Do you want to start a panic? Tell me what you found in the watchtower. Let me see that. A black handprint. The sign of the Dark Brotherhood. But where is the servant, Talais? Is she involved in this fiasco? And how did she and the assassin get out of the watchtower? Well, that explains some of it, but not all. We need to locate Talais. Since you're already involved and working for Captain Rian, I want you to quietly try to find Talais. Start by talking to the other servants in the kitchen and dining hall.
Your sister is fine. This one is certain.
Then where could she be? She would never neglect her duties.
Probably found a dark corner and someone to snuggle with. This one does that all. Pleasant days, visitors. How can this one assist you? Ah, Talais. She worries her brother so. She asked me where we kept the hot root flakes. Counselor Eibor sprinkles them on every dish. I told her they are in the pantry, but you need the key from the kitchen to unlock the door.
All right, grab a broom and start sweeping.
What? No, that's Talais' job.
And do you see Talais anywhere? No. Then start sweeping.
Another new face in the fort? First Counselor Eibor, now you and that cute wood elf. Look, I'd love to chat, but Talais has wandered off and left me to handle her chores. She took the Counselor her meal and hasn't returned. Did you check the watchtower? Eibor's a little old, but maybe Talais decided to improve her station, if you catch my meaning. Eibor reeks of fear. Maybe Talais finds that attractive. Well, she's been acting like a frightened guar since she arrived. Stays locked up in the watchtower. Only lets a single servant in at a time. And I hear she's been burning papers. Documents of some kind. She's scared out of her wits, if you ask me.
The servants come to the kitchen to mutter and gossip. This one will not have it. Misaba asks that you do not distract them overly long, as they are already naturally lazy. What is it that you need? That young woman. She has not returned from the watchtower, so her chores remain undone. And she took the pantry key with her when she went. It is no longer hanging on its hook. That is a clear violation of the kitchen rules. A clear violation. The pantry is in the cellar, but the door is around the side of the building. Therese mumbled something about how the counselor loves hot root flakes, grabbed the key and the tray of food and went off. This one hasn't seen her since.
Before we check the pantry, let's talk. So, what did we learn? Counselor Eibor was frightened, but that's understandable. Interesting that she was burning documents. Her journal indicated that she knew more than the others. And Therese visited the pantry before heading to the watchtower. Couldn't hurt. And every mystery novel I ever read taught me you should always follow up on every clue, even the ones that seem insignificant. Let's check the pantry and see if she was looking for more than hot root flakes down there. They murdered Therese too! Why would the Dark Brotherhood murder... Oh no! We need to talk about this. All right, I think I figured it out. The assassin followed Therese down here, murdered her, and took her place so they could gain access to the watchtower. Pretty clever, but they didn't have to kill her. No, not from what I've read anyway. I thought they only killed those whose names appeared on their contracts. I can't imagine anyone asked them to kill a poor servant. Yes, but we still need to check on Counselor Valeria. And someone needs to go to Gideon and make sure that Counselor Van Dacia is all right. Can I leave those tasks to you? I want to return to Leowyn and consult with Counselor Leviticus. Oh, good point. Before you head out, report to Commander Orton. Tell him what happened to Therese, and how we think the assassin slipped into the watchtower undetected. His brigandines need to be able to recognize an imposter when they see one. After you report to the commander, make contact with Counselors Valeria and Van Dacia. Valeria went to Tidewater Cave to get her records, and Van Dacia works in the Gideon courthouse. Cracked acorns! I suddenly had the weirdest feeling come over me. Yes. No, I don't know. We were talking about the counselors, Valeria and Van Dacia. Suddenly I had a premonition. It was brief and disturbing and mildly unpleasant, like the dreams I've been having. But this is the first time while I was awake. Remember I told you about that strange book I found? The one with the Daedric writing that I can't read? I've been having bad dreams since I found it, and the dreams are becoming more frequent. This time it happened right while we were talking. It was just a flash, but it was accompanied by a feeling. I felt a sense of overwhelming evil, all tied up in the figure I saw in my mind. Like someone held a portrait in front of my face for just a moment and then pulled it away. It was one of the Waking Flame cultists, I think. Someone powerful, in command. A dark silhouette wrapped in a cloak. I'll never forget the feeling it invoked. It was like a wave of hopelessness. We can deal with this later. Let's get back to it.
All right. You talked to the fort's servants and rummaged around in our pantry. What's the verdict? Did you find the missing servant? That's... Oh, that's horrible. Are you sure? No. Of course you're sure. No one would lie about something like that. I'll tell her brother what happened and send someone to tend to her body. Gods, what a day this has been.
Right behind you, partner. Attack! That's over with, I suppose.
The mercenary. A few moments later, and you would have found an empty cave. Your timing really is impeccable. We've already packed up my records, and we're about to head out. But what news of the other counselors? Did your warnings reach them in time? All 3 of them? That's disheartening news. Well, I'll take my records to Leowen. Perhaps between the 2 of us, Counselor Leviticus and I can ascertain what past incident has returned to haunt us. Oh, just a lifetime of public service and bureaucracy. Mostly financial records, but also meeting notes, ledgers, those sorts of things. I oversaw budgets and finances, the collection of taxes, public works, and I kept immaculate records. That's good to hear. Emperor Leovic loved to hide things in coded documents. But what about Counselor Vandacia? Do we know if he's still safe in Gideon? Perfect. Remind him he's too old to play the hero, and I want to see him in Leowen Castle immediately, if not sooner. These Brigadines will make sure I get to the city safely. Me and my records, both. Godspeed, mercenary.
Let's ride.
I was attacked in the streets of our fair city, Keshu. I demand you deal with the criminal post-haste.
Your guards did their job, Counselor Vandacia. The prisoner is secure.
And what's this? More assassins? Explain yourself immediately! One attempt on my life today is more than enough. If you're another one of those Dark Brotherhood bastards, I assure you, you won't find either myself or Governor Keshu to be easy prey. Warn me? As always, Leviticus offers too little and too late. I received the letter, same as the other counselors. My personal guard took the threat seriously, and we captured the assassin in the act. But what of my esteemed colleagues? Are they safe? Dead? All three of them? This is unimaginable. Pharaoh Lupus's letter suggested the Longhouse Emperors left behind a secret that would prove to be a threat. But I thought he was just being melodramatic. Has Leviticus determined what this is about? Four ambitions? Never heard of them. How could something I know nothing about make me a target of the Dark Brotherhood? It's got to be a mistake. You must question the prisoner. Get him to confess and reveal the truth of this sordid affair. Governor Keshu locked the prisoner in the holding cell in the courthouse basement. Question the villain, and find out why the Dark Brotherhood is trying to wipe out anyone who was part of the Imperial Elder Council. I'll head for Leyawiin afterward. I wish there was something I could tell you. The letter I received suggested that some old council business was the cause of all this. Why the Dark Brotherhood would be interested in such menial affairs, I'm not sure. I'm completely baffled. As I said, I never heard the term. The Longhouse Emperors were enamored of secrets and code words, though. Perhaps I encountered it, but it was called something else. If you think it might be important, ask the assassin when you interrogate him. I'm not sure how relevant my ancient history is, but I was appointed to the Elder Council by Emperor Durkarach himself. I helped guide the Empire through most of the reign of the Longhouse Emperors. Sadly, my role in guiding the Empire often put me at odds with the Emperors. I was rarely privy to their secrets. I'm afraid I can't shed any light on that particular mystery. Keshu the Black Fin. War hero, progressive Argonian, and governor of our fair city of Gideon. I serve as an advisor and bureaucrat. Nothing more. I have deep roots in Gideon, so I try to do my part to keep the wheels of government turning. My personal guard is dedicated and well-trained. Not to mention lucky. I was nearing the courthouse when the assassins sprang from the shadows. My guards reacted instantly and overpowered the villain. We brought them here, and Keshu locked them away.
The cell door is open. What happened here?
Poured something on the lock.
Some sort of
Hit
acid
me
ate right
and
through the lock.
escaped.
Look, there's more of it on the floor.
He ran that way, toward the old ruins.
He almost knocked me over. How rude!
He attacked this Legionnaire and ran into the ruins of the old city. That's the last of them. Come and take us!
You're persistent, I'll give you that. All right, let's chat. Do you make it a habit to read other people's mail? That letter is personal and private, full of sensitive information. Well, aren't you a fast reader? If you chased after me because of something Council Van Dacia told you, well, he lied. If the Dark Brotherhood sets out to kill you, you're dead. We don't make mistakes. We don't fail. Not ever. I haven't killed anyone. Not recently, anyway. And if you're talking about our calling card, anyone can dip their palm in black ink and slap it on a sheet of parchment. Look, we received no contracts. I'm here on different business entirely. Good question. If you figure it out, let me know. I certainly owe someone for the bruises the Councilor's guards gave me. Now, as much fun as this has been, I really do need to get back to my daring escape. Best of luck with your mystery. Tempting, but no. I detest so-called places of justice.
Let's hit the trail.
So, the mercenary from Leyawiin has returned. Tell me, were you able to capture the assassin? Or perhaps you killed him in battle once you caught up to him? I am eager to hear the news. Allow me to peruse the document, if you will. Proof positive that the Dark Brotherhood is in Blackwood. We must find this sanctuary and destroy it. What did you expect? Such lies fall from his lips like rain from the sky on a stormy day. Villains never freely admit their guilt. The evidence is right here in this letter. Meet me in Leyawiin and we'll share this information with Leviticus. What? Oh, my personal guard are nearby and these legionnaires are sufficient. You need not be concerned. As for Keshu, she had business to attend to. Gideon business. I saw no reason to distract her from her regular duties. Now, to Leyawiin. Dark Brotherhood. They must be driven out of Blackwood.
I still can't figure out why they would be targeting us, Vandacia.
Eliminate the threat first. Then we can seek answers.
All of the remaining counselors in Blackwood are gathered here in the castle. Valeria, Vandacia, and myself. While we await the arrival of the scribe I sent for, tell me what you uncovered in Gideon. I'm not sure I agree with Von Dacia's assessment. Yes, I remember reports of their presence early in Morikar's reign, but they were driven out. The assassins must see this as the perfect opportunity to reclaim their base, but what does that have to do with Leovic's secret and the ambitions? Von Dacia, Valeria, and I were just discussing that. We think Leovic had each of the counselors unknowingly working on a different aspect of the Ambitions project. They each had access to a piece of the puzzle, but no one but Leovic knew everything. That's our prevailing theory. If the counselors ever came together to compare notes, the truth of the Ambitions would be revealed. To stop that from happening, the Dark Brotherhood was sent to kill my colleagues. Indeed. Very curious. Still, I'm hesitant to take the word of an admitted killer at face value. Not with so much at stake. Regardless, their very presence still poses a threat to all of Blackwood. The Sanctuary cannot be allowed to reopen. Jiric's and Sophis' documents contain information written in Imperial code. I sent for the scribe Aragon, but he has yet to arrive. Until then, the counselors will remain safe within these walls. You have done well so far, and have my thanks. Whatever the truth behind the murders of my fellow counselors, we can't allow the Dark Brotherhood to gain a foothold in Blackwood. I'd like you and Evely to go to Bloodrun Cave to ascertain the situation there. Talk to Evely and make your plans. Until we know more, I'm not prepared to engage in an all-out war with the Dark Brotherhood. No, better to send you and Evely to investigate the situation. Then we can determine if a more forceful response is warranted.
Is there something you wanted?
Hey, partner! Over here! All right, you heard Leviticus. Time to get back to work. While the counselors stay safe in Leyawiin Castle and wait for the scribe to arrive, we need to find out what the Dark Brotherhood is actually up to. Show me that letter you found in Gideon. Yeah, these are definitely orders. It mentions Bloodrun Cave. That's northeast of Leyawiin toward the edge of Blackwood territory. Well, as the spinners always say, the best way to find out what's happening in the clearing is to step into it. Of course it does. Nothing has been easy since I found that strange book and started chasing down Leovic's secret. Well, are you still interested in solving the mystery of the Ambitions? Will you come with me to Bloodrun Cave? The counselors should be safe, so meet me at Bloodrun Cave. We need to determine if the Dark Brotherhood is behind the murders or not. Either way, that sanctuary is a threat to Blackwood. I just hope I don't have another one of those waking visions. Remember back at Fort Blueblood when we found the murdered servant? I had a vision of a shadowy figure. It was a robed and hooded cultist. Order of the Waking Flame, I think. It was brief and powerful, over in a moment, but the figure felt evil. What else could it be? The book seems very old and it's written in a language we can't read. Just carrying it around, it feels heavy, oppressive, like a burden I didn't know I had. But Lupus sent me to find it. It must be important. I don't know. I'm an archer, not a Daedric scholar or anything. I don't think I should let the Order of the Waking Flame get their hands on it, though. And maybe one of these visions, if I have any more, will actually help us figure this all out. No, but that last vision I had was clearly a warning about the cult leader, whoever they are. They're powerful and evil. So, bad dreams or no bad dreams, I think I'll hang on to the book, just in case. I'll meet you at Bloodrun Cave.
You made the right
Bloodrun
call.
Cave is a dangerous place, whether the Dark Brotherhood is present or not. You and Everly should be on your guard at all times. Watch out for each other. I would hate to lose operatives as valuable as you two have been. Bloodrun Cave. Everly brought word of a threat against the former members of the Imperial Elder Council, including Councilor Leviticus. The threat seems to be related to a secret of the Longhouse Emperors. A secret concerning something called the Four Ambitions. We don't actually know. We sent for an Imperial scribe to decipher the coded documents you found, but they have yet to arrive. In the meantime, we've been doing everything we can to protect the Councilors from Dark Brotherhood assassins. Leviticus, Valeria, and Vandacia are safely ensconced in Leowen Castle. Unfortunately, we couldn't save Jirik, Sophus, and Eivor. You found the Dark Brotherhood's calling card at every scene, yet the assassin you met claims they killed no one. Assassins are not the most reliable source of truth. Still, that's part of what we're sending you to their sanctuary to determine. Good luck, mercenary. We're all counting on you.
The dog. It's harmless. Oh, Tertia, you idiot. No wonder he hasn't... Is there something you want? I'd like to be left alone right now. Body? Ring? Riemann on high. What's this about? Aloysius wrote this? And he's dead? This makes no sense. Howling? Chicken coops? It was just a mangy mutt. I don't even think it was rabid, let alone... Oh no, Aloysius. You poor fool. He wasn't cursed. He was hallucinating. The toad that Argonian used to ease his pain must have been too strong for him. Aloysius convinced himself he was a werewolf, and he... This is the second worst proposal I've ever had. I was once kidnapped by a crazed Sul'Zan warlord and offered the heads of my neighbors as a dowry. I'd rather not talk about it. I've had more than a dozen failed engagements in my life. If anyone here is cursed, it's me. But it's not all bad news. Aloysius didn't run off and leave me like half the others. He even gave his life to protect me. I've never had anyone love me that much. Is it wrong that makes me happy? Take this, for delivering my betrothed's last wishes. It was kind of you. I wonder if the Temple of Mara would marry us posthumously. It was his dying wish, after all. Maybe I should employ a priest of Arche for the ceremony, so he can pass on without regrets? Well, why not? I've had absolutely no luck with the living, and it's what he wanted. I'd rather die a widow than an old maid. It's not like this is how I dreamed of getting married, but after being jilted so many times, I may as well marry a man who can't change his mind. You may not get it, but for your sake, I hope you never have to.
Let's ride.
All sorts of mounts.
Go!
look quite capable. Might I be able to recruit you to help me? This place was once an honorable tomb for fallen members of the Dark Brotherhood. But now it houses a perversion of death. The cycle, which devours all, has been corrupted here. I belong to the clutch of Niswo. I came to this place to perform last rites for 3 well-respected shadow scales entombed here. But I was chased out by a necromancer called Tuma Mazath, who seeks to disturb their remains for selfish purposes. Yes, when I arrived here, he had already raised many shadow scale bodies to fight for him. In order to spare the 3 I came to perform last rites upon from this fate, I must destroy their skeletons. Will you help? I can pay you for your services. The remains of these renowned shadow scales deserve the peaceful emptiness of the void. Destruction must pass before creation and change can begin anew. Hurry. We must find the remains inside the cave and destroy them. While it is true that the souls of these shadow scales returned to the Hist long ago, their remains still deserve peace. Their bones need not become puppets to a madman drunk on power. Burning them is the only way to prevent that. They were closer to Sithis than most, each powerful in their own right, buried here to honor their path and life, which is why I came here to begin with. But when Tuma Mazath disinterred them for his own gain, he dishonored their remains. We have also been called Nothing Speakers. We are a fellowship that honors Sithis and the truths of the Void. We all speak different words, but our purpose follows those lessons. One must first apprentice under a mentor before joining our ranks. Each Niswo is different. I choose to honor Sithis by ensuring that the unavoidable truths such as fear, death, darkness, and change are not compromised. Time is a force of change.
Glad you made it.
We should hurry.
I wasn't looking forward to going much deeper without you. So this is Bloodrun Cave, huh? Creepy. You go on ahead. I'll follow behind you. Make sure nothing tries to ambush us. I'll catch up farther in. Check the letter you found. It said something about a door located deeper inside the cave. And there was a strange line about death being the key, whatever that means. Go on. I'll follow along shortly.
Tuma Mazath already uncovered the remains. Quickly, destroy them. May these bones find the emptiness of the void. Tuma Mazath will not have these remains. All that is created must eventually be destroyed, and then renewed. The cycle is unbroken.
Nice haul. Huzzah!
This place is huge! No sign of the Dark
The
Brotherhood.
skull of this shadow scale
lot
is
of
missing.
creepy undead.
I think I
Let's
know
keep
why.
going.
The piece of destruction. We successfully destroyed almost all of the remains, but the shadow scale with the missing skull is cause for concern. I believe those remains once belonged to Ajum Shay. A shadow scale who was said to have plucked out his own eye and sealed a powerful necromantic gem within the socket. It granted him the power to see lost spirits. Tuma Mazath must have taken it in order to conduct his ritual. If I am correct, we must locate Tuma Mazath's ritual site. If he used the skull and the gem inside to power his ritual, it should be nearby. We must make sure to destroy the skull and finish our work. Let us hurry before the chance is lost. I am not certain, but I believe Tuma Mazath either knew about the gem previously, or sensed its power when he unearthed Ajum Shay's remains. The necromantic properties of such a gem would likely be a great strengthening agent to any ritual. A ritual of this magnitude would take time to prepare. Tuma Mazath would need to find a place to ready the necessary components and use the skull as a focal point. Should we find the ritual site, the skull will most certainly be there.
This looks promising. Let's talk. That creepy black door. That's gotta be the entrance to the Dark Brotherhood sanctuary. I doubt it's as simple as turning a knob, because that door doesn't have one. Let me see that letter you found again. Wasn't there something about a key? Gutted, untold danger, long trek, clear out. Ah! Here it is. And remember, death, my brother. That's the key. I don't know. Maybe it's a passphrase? I've read about things like that in some of my mystery novels. Go knock on the door or something and see what happens. Go ahead. See if that passphrase opens the creepy black door.
Still looking for your murderer? Well, you've come to the wrong place, my friends.
We found the Black Hands beside every body.
Must I say it again? You've been duped, and the Dark Brotherhood has been set up to take the blame. Haven't we had this conversation already? The Dark Brotherhood didn't murder those counselors. I have no quarrel with you, and you none with me. Now turn around and leave before you force me to do something you will definitely regret. Oh, Leowyn demands, does it? Very well. This sanctuary belongs to the Dark Brotherhood. It has for a very long time. I have been given the joyous task of reopening it. I assure you, we're a business. We have no designs on Leowyn or the Councilors. Obviously some enemy of the Councilors who wants to confuse you, throw suspicion on the Dark Brotherhood, keep you chasing after shadows while they accomplish whatever it is they hope to do. Perhaps we can work together to... What? Now what? Cultists, portaling in. Quickly, secure the sanctuary.
That's the Order of the Waking Flame. What are they doing here? Come on, we need to figure out what's going on. This can't be a coincidence. Did the Waking Flame cultists follow us here?
Victory is
the
cruel.
Waking Flame is definitely
Defeat is
trying to
worse.
occupy this sanctuary. But why?
Fall back! Close the portals! Warn the High Priest!
Oh, I think not. All right. What were we discussing before they so rudely interrupted us? I assume this will satisfy your masters in Leyawiin. The Dark Brotherhood is not your enemy. The Order of the Waking Flame invaded our sanctuary and killed my brothers and sisters. I can't let them get away with that. Seems to me the cultists didn't want you talking to me. Didn't want you hearing me tell you for the 100th time that the Dark Brotherhood didn't kill those counselors. If you ask me, those are your murderers. The Order of the Waking Flame. Opportunity and motive. Look, I don't know what that may be, and I don't want to know. But I do want to step through this portal and stick my dagger in their High Priest's throat. Care to come along? Good. Now you'll see how a Dark Brotherhood assassin deals with unsanctioned targets. And please notice that I won't be dropping any notes or leaflets along the way. Come on. Let's go before the portal closes.
Stay with the assassin. I'll inform Captain Rian and Councillor Leviticus about the cult.
Ayleid ruin. Not the worst place for a Daedric cult to hide out. Oh, looks like I'm not the only one who leaves important papers lying about. Give that a read. Their High Priest actually ordered them to kill us. That amulet looks important. Better hang on to that.
The day will be ours!
Close approximation of our calling card, but that entire pile is off. So the Order of the Waking Flame killed your counselors and placed the blame on the Dark Brotherhood. Then their High Priest sent his followers to kill us. Care to enlighten me as to what this is actually all about now? All this fuss and bother over an old Imperial secret? Let's review what we learned. The High Priest of the Order of the Waking Flame sent cultists to the Sanctuary to eliminate both my Dark Brotherhood assassins, and you, and the Wood Elf. Obviously the cult has someone watching you. They knew exactly when to attack, certain we'd all be in the Sanctuary. Plus, they were after some cache hidden there. So who are these cultists? And how well do you trust your masters in Leyawiin? I'm not suggesting anything. Just following the clues. If the cultists are Dagonists, then their High Priest is probably a true fanatic. This secret must be pretty important, and most likely pertains to death and destruction. Let's keep searching. Let's see if something deeper inside this ruin points us to the identity of the cult's High Priest. Figure out who they are.
They made their choices. So be it.
This door looks impressive. Let's see what's on the other side. Over here. Voices.
We failed to kill all the assassins, and the Wood Elf and the mercenary are still alive.
Yes. The High Priest isn't going to be happy about that, but we retrieved the cache hidden in the old sanctuary.
With the contents of the cache, the High Priest should be able to determine where to find the first ambition.
Agreed. And we will soon have the location of another one of the ambitions. As just another Imperial Counselor, the High Priest has them all fooled.
Now that's something new. What do you think? Sometimes listening provides the answers we seek. It seems their High Priest is actually one of your counselors. That explains how they knew your movements. And they found whatever they were looking for in the sanctuary. I'd rather not know any more about this damn secret. It's cursed. But did you see how they opened that portal? They used their amulet on the pedestal. You still have the one we found? Let's find another pedestal and see if we can follow them.
Sheath your weapons. The battle is won.
Keep looking. We need to find a pedestal like the one those cultists used. That pedestal looks promising. Let's talk before you try to open a portal. This may work. It may not. We may open a portal that takes us to the cultists, or we may open one to some dark and deadly corner of oblivion. Still, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So, ready to try something daring? It looked to me like the cultists used their amulet on the pedestal and opened a portal. Examine the pedestal and see if there's a place to fit the amulet. These Dagonist fools think they've gotten the better of us. Let's prove them wrong. Well, we have a portal. Time to find out if leaping into it turns out to be a good or bad idea.
I told you you were being followed, Acolyte. But Show them the true power of the waking flame.
Come on, get out of there! Courage brings victory.
We're too late. The location of the ambition was sent to the High Priest. What was that about an attack on Leowyn? Vandacia is the Order's High Priest! I knew I disliked the man the moment he had me beaten. So, now I know who needs to die for this grave insult to the Dark Brotherhood. Counselor Vandacia, the High Priest of the Waking Flame. But what do you make of that journal entry about the first ambition and an attack on Leowyn Castle? They got what they were after, and now they're sending their forces to kill the rest of the Councilors. With the other Councilors dead, Vandacia will be the only person who knows the secret of the Longhouse Emperors. And Vandacia will do everything in his power to get his hands on those documents. I suppose your course is clear. You need to return to Leowyn Castle as quick as you can. I'm going to stick around and deal with a few more of these Waking Flame cultists. I still have a little anger to work off after that attack on my sanctuary. I suggest you return to Leowyn Castle with all due haste. I'm an assassin, not a soldier. I've done my part. Now go do yours. When I'm finished here, if Vandacia is still alive, well, then we'll see what we shall see. That portal should take you back toward the exit, or to some terrible plane of oblivion.
cities are as alive, fickle, and uncertain as people. Some are good, some are bad. Some give you gifts, others rob you blind.
Get those doors open. We need to get to the counselors.
They're barred from the other side.
Mercenary, you've returned. Everly's attempting to breach the barracks. Go! The Waking Flame cultists created a distraction. And like raw recruits, both Everly and I fell for it. As soon as we left the castle, they swarmed the place and barricaded themselves inside. I'm not sure. By the time we realized the distraction was nothing more than a ruse, the cultists had locked us out. If the cultists harm Leviticus, Vandacia, and the others, I won't rest until they pay. What? Are you certain? Vandacia has served Blackwood and the Empire before that for more than 50 years. Enough. We need to get inside. Then we can determine the truth of all this. Find Everly by the barracks and assist her.
Steady. Wait for it. Now we can go in. Let's... Oh, you're here. Oh, thank Ifra you're back. Captain Rian and I... They tricked us. Lured us out of the castle. Now the place is locked down and I don't know if any of the counselors are still alive. I've mucked this up real good. Vandacia? That traitor! He tricked us! Lied to us! Had his own colleagues murdered! And all to get his hands on a few Daedric weapons? But Lyrinth, the Dremora, she told me that the fate of the world was at stake. We need to reach the counselors. Yes, the barracks connect to the rest of the castle. Since I dispatched the cultist guards, we can get to the counselors and the legates this way. Let's go, but stay alert. We're not sure how... Hurry! We need to reach the counselors!
The day is ours!
I can't believe Vandacia fooled us. Or that he's in charge of these fanatics.
Vandacia. How could you?
Valeria, with everything at stake, how could I not?
Counselor Valeria! No!
I hate wasting expensive arrows on the likes of you.
Aragon, when did you get here?
I came as soon as word arrived from Councillor Leviticus. I was with him when the cultists attacked, but we got separated.
We have to find Leviticus. Come with us, brother. We need to stick together. Counselor Valeria. She's dead. We have to keep looking for Leviticus.
Vandacia, you traitor. I will finish what the Longhouse Emperors started, Leviticus. I will set loose the power of the Four Ambitions. Lord Dagon, hear your High Priest. Send forth a champion to destroy these members.
Kill it! Kill it!
Years and obeys. Death for the mortals.
Don't worry about me. Deal with that creature.
Councilor Leviticus, you're alive! Let me get you out of here and somewhere safe.
Vandacia. The bastard fooled us all.
Friend of my sister, come, speak with me. Despite the gravity of the situation, you should know that I was able to decipher a portion of the encoded documents before Vandacia whisked them away. I'm not sure. I only translated a small bit of the code before the assault began, It mentioned a vault to protect them, which I assumed to mean the Ambitions. It's hidden in the Ojel Bok, but I'm not familiar with the term. Argonian, perhaps? It sounds like it, but I'm not sure. I haven't reported to Councillor Lovidicus yet. Since it looks like he wants to talk to you now, please inform him of my findings. And tell him I apologize I wasn't able to decipher anymore. Let Councillor Lovidicus know what I deciphered from the coded document. That the vault that protects them is hidden in the Ojel Bok. I wish I had been able to finish translating all the documents before Vandacia stole them. Isn't the family resemblance obvious? I was an adventurer myself back in the day, before I became an Imperial scribe. I think that's where Everly gets it. That and from all the books I've given her over the years. I imagine he didn't think I had time to decipher any of the coded passages. I barely had a moment to look at the documents when the portals opened and his cultists burst in. Luckily, I'm very familiar with that particular code. It was my specialty.
Vandacia will pay.
Vandacia.
Swear it.
A high priest of Mehrunes Dagon. Has he been a Daedric cultist all these years? I failed to see the signs, and now the counselors. They're all dead. Valeria, Sophis, Eivor, and Jirik. Yes, of course. The Sanctuary. I suppose this proves the Dark Brotherhood wasn't involved in the plot to murder us. What else did you uncover while you were away? It's worse than that. Vandacia wrestled the documents you acquired from the other counselors away from the scribe. Once he translates them, he may know the location of all 4 of the Ambitions. Ojel Bok. I've heard that term. It's Argonian. I believe it refers to a natural formation deep in the Blackwood Marsh. But Vandacia was more familiar with that region than I. I know someone who can help us, though. I believe you already met her. If the term leads us to the vault, so be it. All we can do is follow the clues we've been given. Talk to Keshu the Blackfin. If anyone can help us navigate the wilds of Blackwood, it's Governor Keshu.
Damn. I can't believe Vandacia is a traitor and a cult leader. And he killed Valeria. Almost killed Leviticus. He's been ahead of us the entire time. We can't let him get to the Ambitions. We just can't. All right, we have a plan. In the meantime, we saved Councillor Leviticus, cleared the Dark Brotherhood of the murders, and determined Vandacia is the traitor and leader of the cult. You did good, my friend. Here, your share of our compensation. Damn. I can't... All right, we have... So, the information from the former councillors points to an Argonian location. Someplace called the Ojel Bok. Vandacia ran off with the documents before we could learn more. Now we need to figure out what it means before his cultists beat us to it. No, but Councillor Leviticus has heard the term. Says it's a landmark in the Solzan territory. The document suggested it's a site connected to the 4 Ambitions. Maybe where the weapons are stored? Governor Keshu of Gideon. Councillor Leviticus says she knows the swamps and bogs of Blackmarsh like the back of her hand. So, can I count on you? Will you come with me to Gideon to talk to Keshu the Blackfin? We'll meet up in Gideon. We can talk to Governor Keshu there. She has to know about this Ojel Bok thing. She has to. just what I've heard. She emerged from the Black Marsh swamps and made a name for herself as a freedom fighter. Battled Dark Elf slavers along the Morrowind border. When the Akaviri invaders arrived, she took her soldiers and helped save Windhelm. About 10 years ago now, defeated the invasion and helped form the Ebonheart Pact. Even commanded the Pact army during the start of the Three Banners War. Then one day she turned in her commission, came back to serve as governor of Gideon. Keshu's progressive as far as Argonians go. I hear she has an interest in the history of the Argonians, but she genuinely seems committed to creating an open and enlightened community for all people in Gideon. Actually, I can't wait to talk to her. What did the spinners say? Oh yes, it's one of the 8 major cities of Blackmarsh, but its proximity to Cyrodiil makes it more imperial than Argonian. In fact, Vandacia represented the Empire in Gideon for decades. Until, well, you know. No, more of an advisor of sorts. Like the councillors here in Leyawiin, Governor Keshu is the leader of the city. When Vandacia revealed himself to be the head of a Daedric cult, well, that pretty much put an end to his government service. Now that you mention it, very much so. He was a member of the Elder Council. His name was on the list of people that knew Leyavik's secret. I thought I was supposed to protect him, keep him safe from the murderer. But he was the murderer! After he killed Valeria and grabbed the coded documents, he ran. He could be anywhere. He's had decades to establish the Waking Flame and set up hiding holes. But he's after the ambitions, same as us. We need to find the hidden vault before he does.